I was born and grew up in the state of Alabama. And we're talking about pre-integration. And I saw the laws and how they were applied to black people. And I always said, if I could do something in life, as my life work, I would like to do something to change many of these laws. And law was a way of doing it. So I remember in high school, I made it known to my instructors that that's what I wanted to do. Now, it was a long time between the time I actually finished high school and then became a lawyer. It was many years in between, but I never forgot it. And so being a lawyer just makes it easy to transition from one era to another, to do the kinds of things that our society needs us to do. And I just couldn't think of any other platform than being a lawyer to do those things. I like to go back as far as the time when I started as a law clerk. That was in 1970. First year out of law school, and I started law clerking for Johnny at that time. And the years rolled by, and eventually, as an attorney, I began in March of 1973. And I stayed until my relationship continues throughout that period of time, up until today's date. But that's when it all began. I think it was a golden opportunity for me. I think it's important to know that when I first started working for him, I met him first as an attorney for my family. And he was, even back then in the 1960s, 1966, when he represented my family. And one of the last things he said to me after we finished transacting our business, I told him earlier that I wanted to be a lawyer. And he said, Eddie, you can talk about it all you want, but until you make it happen, it's not going to happen. So consequently, I kept that in the forefront of my mind. And then Johnny just began to do things, and I began to notice him, and notice him, and notice him. I said, man, that guy, and not a whole lot of difference in our age. I think he's just a couple of years older than me. And I said, man, I would just like to be like that. So I kind of patted myself after Johnny, like many young lawyers at that time, and he never disappointed. He was always the person to know. And while he did good things for the neighborhood, for the community, he never put himself first. It was always for the community. And we called him important, but he just saw himself as a person, like he would say if he was here right now, just doing God's will. That's the kind of guy he was. Well, I'll tell you what, in the Los Angeles area particularly, if there was no Cochran firm, I wonder where we would be. We have a lot of good black lawyers, a lot of lawyers, period, that does civil rights work, but nothing like the Cochran firm. It's part of the DNA of law. And they have good lawyers here, not just good, excellent lawyers, starting with the man at the top. And I'm just glad that we're here. I'm glad that I'm still around to be a part of it. And if only Johnny could be here to see his legacy. As a matter of fact, one of my first conversations with him about after he left the scene, I asked him one day, why didn't he want to be a judge? And he said, no, Eddie, what I want to leave a dynamite law firm. That's my legacy. And if he was here right now, he would probably say, mission accomplished.